In another of these short films, we introduce our vision of what it means to be future ready. At the heart of that vision is recognition of three challenges that will define the lives of our young people. It is our contention that the vast majority of schools are failing to consider, let alone address, these imperatives. We are determined to be different. Our tradition and our affection for the history of Charterhouse gives us strength and inspiration, but our relevance will depend on our ability to face the future and respond to these challenges. The first of these challenges is what is called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. So, to recap with a little bit of social and economic history here, the first industrial revolution mechanized production with steam power, James Watt and all that. The second industrial revolution drove mass production with electric power and revolutionized our planet with the exploitation of petroleum and the manufacture of steel. The third industrial revolution used electronics and information technology to automate production. And this, of course, is the world that many of us have grown used to. Now, though, we face a digital revolution that will transform all aspects of life and work. Schools have so far largely failed to recognize what these changes will mean. In some cases, they are responding with greater emphasis on subjects like computer science, coding, the incorporation of increased technology in the presentation of information in the classroom. To say that this is missing the point would be putting it mildly. At the same time, and related, we need to talk about the challenge to the mental well-being of our children. The sense of always being under surveillance, the transformation of personal relationships by digital technologies, the way that the generations are left even more confused about each other than ever because of the rate of change. All this is hard to deal with, especially when you've got enough to work out just being small. Rates of self-harm, suicide and depression are on the rise in all societies. These are things that show themselves in different ways in different cultures. But the pain is the same whether you are from Shenzhen or Sheffield. The third issue may seem a bit abstract, but please bear with me. The problem is that the entire belief system that underpinned our assumptions about the good life is being challenged. And what I mean here is that the assumption that each generation will be more materially prosperous than the last is crumbling in the face of environmental and economic realities. Perpetual growth is destroying our world and creating a poverty amongst all the wealth where we cannot breathe the air, swim in the rivers, or play in the streets. What that means for us as school teachers is a big deal. For generations, educational success has been defined in economic terms. Basically, getting qualifications to get a good job. And a good job is defined as one that is well paid by the standards of that society and that enjoys social status and security. That is no longer an adequate way to define success. And the vision of success in that antiquated model is no longer an adequate target for our educational philosophy or for what we do in our schools. And you know, if you're under 35 years old, you already know this. 3 imperatives, a three-headed monster. But to identify challenges is the first step towards meeting them. And in the next 3 short films, I will try to describe in outline how our Charterhouse Asia educational design is responding. And thank you for watching. Visit us at charterhouseasia.com.